press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello students, welcome back to your social science class. Today we are going to deal with the chapter culture, and we will continue with where we stopped. We learned the definition and certain features in the previous class. Today we will continue with other aspects that are there, that is importance of culture and the relationship between culture and society is what we are going to discuss in today's class. So moving forward, we will see the importance of culture. Why do we need culture, or why culture is important for us? Why do you think we should understand our culture? Why do you think we should keep up that culture and not let it go anytime? Why do you think we should be we should give our culture to the other generations that come? We should tell them, we should make it in such a form that it will be passed on from one person to the other. We'll see how and why we must do, because culture first is a treasure of knowledge. So culture is treasure of knowledge. Okay, that's the first point. Culture is treasure of knowledge. Now, why is it called treasure of knowledge? What's a treasure? Something that you have, something that's very precious, okay? Maybe consisting of ornaments, consisting of anything that is valuable, okay? A treasure. A person is also a treasure to you, all right? Now, why is it called a treasure of knowledge? Culture gives us a lot of knowledge we discussed in the previous class, isn't it? It helps us to learn many things. It helps us to learn about the beliefs, our values, our traditions, our literature, our art. So when we see all that, when we look at all these things, we get knowledge, okay? Now you are reading your textbook. What are you doing? You are taking the knowledge from the textbook. You are speaking to people and you learn a new thing. What you are doing? You are taking the knowledge from that person, okay? So that is how culture gives us knowledge for our social understanding that is there, that is what we speak among people, how we physically exist, or why, how life sustains, or how life is going on in the society. Similarly, in the same way, animals who are also there with us, they also get adjusted to the natural environment that is there. See, we can speak, though even animals communicate, but they cannot utter those words that humans can. Yet they have their own form of communication, isn't it? And that is through their ways of living together, their instincts of living together, all right? So, whatever we have learned, now from childhood we learn to walk, we learn to talk, okay, we learn to do many things, our routine things. When we learn all these things, okay, how are we learning them? We are getting certain kind of training, isn't it? Now when you are learning language, can you just start talking? If you are put in a forest with only animals, do you think you can speak like what you are speaking now? You will not be able to, because you have grown up in an environment that has not supported your communication system, okay, or language system. So what is happening there? You are not learning that language. Now whereas how did you learn the language? When you were surrounded by people. People were speaking with you. There were people who spoke around you. You learned maybe 3 or 4 languages together. Maybe one language you've learned with your friends, one language in school, one language is your mother tongue, okay? And maybe in your community with your friends and other people, you may have learnt their language also. So when we are speaking, we are also gaining knowledge with regard to language. In the same way, on the other side, you are also gaining knowledge with anything that you see, with anything that you speak, with anything that you do, okay? You are understanding those things and getting knowledge. Now, how is the present generation guiding the next generation? Through the form of language. Language is important, isn't it? Language, only through language we communicate, and that is how we are passing on our traditions to the next generation. Now our parents have told us, see, this is what you have to do, this is how it is, okay? Now we know because they spoke it out to us, they told it to us. Now we are also going to tell the future generation, okay? That's how language plays a major role, and language is used as a tool, okay? Now, how have we known our past knowledge? Maybe through songs, maybe stories, okay, maybe artwork, maybe something written on the caves, okay, folk songs that have been done, some scriptures that are there. So all written text, maybe orally passed on also, we learn what has happened in the past. Now, based on whatever, now your parents have told you certain tradition. I told you, if your parents know 10 traditions, you will know 7 of them. So you will alter those 7 of them, okay, or alter the remaining of them, alter the remaining 3 of them, okay, and you will add on a little bit of your knowledge to it, and then you will pass it on to the next generation. The next generation will also do the same. They will also alter and modify it a little and then pass it on and on. Okay, so that's how it goes on from one culture to another. Every culture has its own modification that it does or changes that it does, and then it is moving on. Now, culture is not only tradition, but it also is a form of knowledge that we have. Next is culture explains situations. Okay, culture explains situations. Now, how do you think, now if you learnt your history lesson, isn't it? What did you learn there? What man did in certain ages. So, what are you coming to know there? What kind of tools man used? So, what are you knowing there? What kind of situation did man live in? What kind of, did man have a house properly, or did man have tools that he wanted? What were his survival factors? So it is showing you what? It is showing you situations that are there. Alright. Now, situations of what? Situations of the past time to the present time. It is comparing the past with the present. And today's present will be compared with the future. When you go to the future, today's day will become in the past. Alright. Today's day will become in the past. So, examples here, see, caves and architectures of temples in Aihole and Badami of Bagalkot, okay, they tell us certain situations of how civilization or how progress happened there, okay. So, that you may underline it. Next is culture defines values. Culture defines values. Now, it shows us our attitudes, what kind of behavior we have, our thoughts that are there, okay. Now, everything is a part of society. We have equality that is there, okay. We have our constitution gives us certain rights, okay, certain provisions that are there. There are rules and regulations that define what we have to do. Basic is equality. People need equal status everywhere. So, everybody has to have equality. And you have your own freedom. Okay. So, certain kind of values are there. Now, each family has their own value. When you come to a larger society, the society as a whole also has a certain values to follow. We may take it from our families, sometimes we may take it from our neighbors, we may take it from school, we may take it from anywhere else, because everybody is belonging to the society. Okay? So that's how you create your thought. Now you are in a situation, okay? Now you understand that somebody is needing your help, okay? Somebody needs your help, and somebody, okay, there's a person who needs help, not your help, somebody, a person who needs just help, he has just hurted himself and he needs help. In that situation, there will be some people who will go to help him, okay, pick him up, okay, take him somewhere to the hospital if it's really an urgency. So there will be some people. But there will be always other people, there will be also some people who will open their phones and their cameras and make a video about it, or there will be people who will just go and peep like this, what's happened. So what are you doing here? When you are observing all this, you learn from that situation. What did you learn? That these are the kinds of people in our society. These are the situations that can happen in the society, and if certain situations happen, what should I be doing it in that situation? If I encounter, now if somebody comes and falls just as you're walking and he is really hurt, she is really hurt, will you not go and help that person? Anybody, we don't know who will pass by our way, isn't it? Anybody. So when situations come, you also learn, and that defines our values that are there. And in order to, when each one keeps up to their values, we strengthen or we make our human relationships strong. Now ultimately see, one day everybody will have to die and go away. When we are living, why don't we love, why don't we care for others, or why don't we share with others? Because see, you don't know, the next minute you may be gone. So next minute that person may be gone. We don't know what's going to happen. So when we are not sure of when we will be leaving, or when we will be saying goodbye to all of them here, what we should do, we should try to strengthen the relationships that are there. We should be good to people, we should give them good support, we should give them good company whenever they are in need. In return, you're going to get it back if you really need. And see, there are people of many kinds, okay? People who will help, people who will not help, people who are selfish, people who are jealous. So many kinds of people are there. But there will be still some good people. Now you will not have to worry about anybody else. Worry about yourself. Are you really good? You ask yourself. Okay, do you really help people? Ask yourself. Then do you care for others? Do you love others? Or are you fighting always? Are you being bad always? Are you not doing your work? You ask yourself, okay? Then you ask somebody else. So first ask yourself, am I doing? What is happening? Why am I not doing it? So you ask yourself, okay? Basically, all that will strengthen the human relationships, and it defines the values that you have. Next is culture explains behavioral models. Culture explains behavioral models, okay? Now, what behavioral models? Understand it in terms of behavior. Each person has their own behavior, isn't it? Some are silent, some are good, everybody is good, but some are extremely good, okay? Some are extremely good, some are very caring, loving, understanding, okay? So many factors that are there. Now your behavior also shows in those terms that you have decided to portray yourself in. Now, our behavior will also affect the society. Now if all of them are just fighting and fighting, all the time fighting, and if we had no peace in the society, do you think we all would survive till now? We wouldn't be surviving. if our only aim was to only attack people everywhere, nobody would survive by then, because there is a 50% of the other half of the people are good, only because of them the rest of them survive. Okay. So otherwise, don't you hear on TV and other things, okay, there's these cases here, that cases, okay, robbery here, and are people killing each other, people fighting in the name of religion? Very bad, isn't it? Why should you fight in the name of religion? When you are belonging to the same mankind, you are all the same. Okay? Who has divided us? Society only has divided us, yes. But we all should understand that we cannot be fighting in the name of religion. And we all citizens of India have our freedom to practice any religion that we want. So nobody can stop you from being whichever religion you would like to choose. Okay, there is a freedom that you can choose any religion that you want. Nobody can be forcing you to get into a certain kind of religion, or nobody can be forcing you to tell you, oh, okay, utter these words or do our traditions. No, nobody can be telling you that. But it's happening in our society. So there are bad things, there are also good things that happen. Okay, when good things happen, there should be negative things that happen, because otherwise that cycle will never move forward. So behavioral models are also, see, you get your corrections from your teachers, your elders. Okay, you've done a mistake, then the teachers, your elders tell you that this is wrong and this is how it has to be done. So they change your behavior that is bad, okay, or they change your behavior that is likely to be bad. So these are this is the importance of culture. Why culture is important? Because it gives us knowledge. Okay, it explains the situations that are there. It also gives us certain values, and it defines, it explains our values, and it also gives us certain good behavioral models. It tells us what is the good behavior that is there, or what is the good behavior that is needed. Alright, so this was importance of culture. Moving further, let's understand relationship between culture and society. What is the connection between religion and society? How are they related? Okay, we'll see how are they related. It says their relationship is mutual. First one, mutual relationship. What's mutual relationship? Now understand mutual like this. You are A. Okay? You are A, your friend is B. Your friend is B. There is another person C. Okay, another person C. He is your friend. A, you are A. C is your friend. C is also B's friend. C is also B's friend. Okay? So he knows both of you. Okay? Then through him you come to know that, through C you come to know B. So there is mutual connection that is happening. C becomes the mutual friend, okay, common friend. So society and culture is also the same way. Society is A, culture is B, and that is interconnected, alright. Now culture gives us, or culture shows us how we have evolved, or how man has grown in the human society. And as we have evolved, now even when you go to the prehistoric age or whatever it is, you still have evidences. Somewhere you get evidences. What is it showing? The culture of that time, the situations of that time, and those little things that are there, that they form culture. Okay? And from the time a man started to live, he has done one or the other thing, and that is being known. That is being known, and that is culture. That is that culture, the past culture that is there. Our present culture is different, the future culture may be different. Alright, so it goes on changing and changing. Culture cannot be separated from society. So that is why it is mutual, that is why they have a relationship. Culture cannot be separated from society. Because society, as we are living in the society, now you think we don't have if we don't celebrate major festivals that are there. Okay, nobody is celebrating, nobody knows anything about the festival. Culture will never exist. The traditions that we do, the different kinds of dance forms that are there, the folk songs that are there, if it was never existing, life would be so boring, isn't it? Life would be so boring with not having literature, not having art, not having music. When they are brought together, when they are put together, culture exists. And where does it exist? It exists in the place you are living, and that is the society. So they both are interconnected. Now, when they are interconnected, a factor of human beings being present there also comes. Humans also have to be present. We have to interact. Our language is important. Communication is our base. We have to communicate. Now, if I come and simply stand like this, will you be able to understand what I want to tell you? No, right? I will have to speak. Only when I speak, you will realize what I have spoken. If I simply write the title and I keep quiet for half an hour, will you understand? No, right? You won't understand because I am speaking, because you are listening. Okay, we are forming a process of communication, and that is why human interactions are happening. We may not be able to meet face to face, yet we are communicating in some or the other form, isn't it? That is how human interactions have to go on and go on for the society to live, or for the society to exist. So that is how without society there is no culture, and there is no culture without society. So vice versa. Culture and next point. Culture and society are two faces of the same coin. What is it? Culture and society are two faces of the same coin. Now, if you take a 1 rupee coin, it is, if you show one side, okay. Now, this is one side, this is another. Okay, let me write it one here, okay, for you to understand, or there is some picture over here, okay. Now, you are showing this side and you say, no, only this side is 1 rupee coin, whereas this side is not 1 rupee coin. Can you say that? Both are joined, isn't it? Back and forth, both are there, okay. So, if you say only this, what is written 1 is 1 rupee, what is there behind it is not 1 rupee. Can you say that? You can't say that. They are there, they are joined together. Same way, culture and society is also two faces of the same coin, okay, two faces of the same coin. Now, in this point, again it's a repetition, okay, repetition of all the points that we studied in features as well. Why is it two faces of the same coin? We have human relationships, okay. People exist, people have to talk, we have communication processes, alright. Then, culture is what makes us different from animals. Culture is what is needed for our existence. So, animals don't have it, okay. They may have their own way of living, but we have a more higher way of living than the animals. Now society in some or the other way is controlled on cultural aspects, okay. Based on our culture, society also grows, society is also flourishing, okay. Now we are all individuals, each individual in the society. Now we belong to different sectors. Now we may be belonging to a religion, okay, we may be studying in a certain school, we may be interacting with people in our neighborhood, we may be playing in the playground. What are you doing? You are meeting different people, you are going to different places, which is all a part of the society, which is all belonging to the larger part, that is the society. Now next point is, they tell us the behaviors that we have to do. Now see, all this lesson is a whole interconnection between the same thing being repeated over and over again. So read different points and gain more knowledge, okay. So that's what it is, how people use their tools, how people communicate, how people behave, okay, what institutions we are joined in, where do we go, which religion do we belong to, what kind of culture do we practice, what kind of clothing do we wear, what kind of food habits do we have, all are part of culture. All are a part of culture, and culture in a whole way is a part of the society. Now society is here, culture is here. Society exists, culture is there, and culture exists, society exists, okay. So if society is there, there is culture. If there is culture, there is society. So it is an interconnection that is present in this. Alright students, with this I would like to stop the lesson for you. In the next class, we will deal with importance and significance of cultural rituals and diversities. Now see, this, don't take it as a tough lesson, it is an easy lesson. You will have to read it maybe 5 or 6 times, then you will understand. Now you are living in the society, isn't it? You are living, and see around you, observe, and then you will understand this lesson better, okay. Thank you very much for listening.